So I just want to give you a quick little rundown as to what you just heard in these various clips. First off, I played the blocked harmonies alongside the original, right? And this is something that came about as I was practicing the piece. The piece is new to me, and I was really feeling the shapes of different chords in my hands, hearing them in my ears, and wanted to try to notate that for the whole piece. What I'm doing, everything I do actually at the piano is in an effort to maximize the overall finished performance. I want my performances to be clear and communicate something that I'm feeling about the music. It's different for every piece. And I want some individuality. I want to find something new in the music. And so this harmonic analysis was a little tangent that I took. I don't usually do this thorough of an assessment of the chords in Bach because it just doesn't strike my ears so much. Although perhaps in the C major prelude, this one, that might be my next one to try this with. Actually, incidentally, the opening 4 bars of the D major have essentially the same harmonies as the first 7 bars of that C major prelude number 1, also from book 1. And so performance is the end goal. I'm not writing an article about chords and harmonic analysis. My goal is to perform the music, very different from a theorist's goal. And so as I'm playing Bach's music, this piece, I'm feeling the notes of the chord, but also their inversions, obviously. And then when I go to write it on paper, I also want it to be playable. And so that's why you see I've written the right hand down so it's closer to the left hand, as opposed to, which just doesn't sound as good. I'm always concerned about how something sounds. I like the aesthetics of this. And so that's some of my guiding principles there. There's a lot of 7th chords, and I think that's what was standing out to my hand and to my ear as I practiced this. And some of them I chose to just, for instance, the E minor one in measure 2. I suppose I could call that an E minor 7th chord, which is nice and everything, but just somehow, and maybe I would change my mind too if I'm going back to do this over and over, and none of this is etched in stone. It's all fluid and evolving, and I'm hearing other things. Those pink and blue notes too are impacting me as well. But the register of that and the particular notes, their placing, that right hand in measure 2, if I were to play it as a 7th chord with the D in the middle, just to me doesn't sound as digestible, if you will, as just playing an E minor. And I feel like so there are some places, what I'm trying to say, where I could have went either way. I could have made something call it a seventh chord or just a straight triad. And it's all in flux. In that case there, the A7, which comes next, is obviously the dominant of the home key, D major. So I wanted to kind of not detract from that by having another seventh chord before that. And also, I've been noticing that the presence of the seventh chords here is, in particular, there's just so many of them. And the analogy that came to my mind as I've been doing this is that the seventh chords, it's like you're walking or driving or riding your bike down a straight road. You're going very straight ahead, and then you hear the seventh chord, and suddenly it's like you've taken a turn, like you've made a hard right or a hard left, right? And then you're going straight, and then you get another seventh chord, and it feels like you're making another hard turn. Like these seventh chords, they really give a sense of like transportation, like you're covering ground. And so I've been trying to listen for those. And then when you add all the 16th notes, right, like in that A7 chord at the end of measure 2, I still want to hear the seventh of any of these chords where I've labeled seventh, and that, especially there, because it's a wide interval. I don't want to just blow through those notes and play them all clickety-clack. I mean, it's nice and everything, actually. With strong enough fingers, it's debatable if it's really worth it, I suppose. But at least it may not sound to the listener much different, if different at all, but in my mind, I'm hearing these things, and that's what matters. If I'm hearing the presence of those little pink little motives, and then I'm hearing the little baby blue ones as two different voices, and then those double stemmed dark blue notes interspersed with the chords. So it's all meshed together, and when I'm playing the piece as written, I obviously want to have as much awareness to those notes as possible. And then those last, from measure 29 to the end, is where things kind of blow through the roof, and it suddenly takes on a different texture. We now have running 16th notes in the left hand, mixed with some improvisatory gestures in the right hand, those 32nd notes at 33, with some rolled chords, some long pedal tones. This, to me, is like a miniature, like a cadenza. It's a very fiery, spirited section. So I didn't bother to maintain those same colored notes, but I did, as you see, carry on with the harmonies there. And now that I've used up some of my markers and have pencil lead along the side of my left hand, it's time to wrap up this tutorial for Prelude number 5 in D major from Book 1 of the Well-Tempered Clavier. Music by Mr. B. I'm currently learning this piece alongside the corresponding fugue, and so hopefully in the near future I'll be able to share with you some more of my findings and discoveries. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Happy practicing to you. Stay well, stay safe, and we'll see you again soon for more performances and explorations of Bach's music. Take care, and happy holidays too. Bye-bye.